All right, people, what's up? Turn that down a little bit. Hopefully, you can hear me. This is going to probably be for my prayer group and my YouTube trucking channel, maybe the Christian channel. I might put them on both. So just kind of give everybody an update real quick. First of all, be praying for my biological father. He's a hot mess. We ended up in the hospital on Monday because he was refusing to do the catheter, and he ended up having problems in the lower part of his stomach where it was hurting. And Monday at 11:30 in the evening of last week, last week, we ended up at emergency. His blood sugar was like 608, which is crazy. As one friend of mine asked me, was he conscious? Crazy as heck. When we went in, he went in first because I dropped him off to park the car, and when I walked in to talk to the admittance people or to come in behind him, the lady was saying, well, we need to get a urinary, get urine. And this is what he said: I don't think I can go. Instead of telling him he's incontinent. So he really psychologically is having a hard time accepting that he's incontinent, that he can no longer stand up and pee over a toilet. He can't control his pee. And he's in even though he's not admitting it, he's in a pity party and a depression. And so I think he's angry about his situation. And all he talks about is, well, my body, I ain't never been sick and da-da-da. I said, you can stay in that pity party. Everybody gets sick at some point in life. Mine happened when I was in my 30s. You can either stay in a pity party or you can choose to proactively try to handle your situation. It's up to you. You're choosing not to be proactive, so you're making your situation worse. Because you're continuing to eat how you want to eat, sugar. And he's not a big guy. I'm heavy. And my blood sugars are usually between 80 and 90. They're well maintained because I don't eat like he does. And I said, that's why I want to do the lap band, because between that medical procedure and me just renewing my mind on how I look at things, I'll be healthier. And I said, I'm not worried about, for him, he's a flashy guy, wants the rings on the finger and pimp look. And he thinks that's cool and pretty and cool. It's stupid, but I told him, you're not a young guy anymore, but you're a guy who's not dead, so you could be doing stuff. He's also a licensed minister. He's doing absolutely nothing with it because he's in a pity party tomorrow. If I go to church and I have to go to the bathroom a lot, then it's going to be a distraction. A distraction for who? For you? Them people in the audience don't care. There's ain't but 10 people in the doggone church. They don't care. Be careful what you think about what other people think. And it has been... through up to now, I realize how, I say better, but blessed I am that God has shown me some things about life. Through life, He's shown me things. He showed me how not to be caught up in materialism. Nothing wrong with having security, setting up financial security. Nothing wrong with having nice things. But if you make those nice things trying to be like somebody else or to impress somebody else, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Get what you can get, that you can afford to maintain you and have a good sound basis behind it. He could be doing a lot of things and speaking into lives about the mistakes he made in his youth, because now he's a lonely old man living in a house by himself. The way you treated women is why you don't have rephrase, the way you treated females is why you don't have a female now. Or a woman in your life, because you never became a man. And you played women, you manipulated them, and now you're an old man by yourself, and you got a few females who are nice enough, kind enough, soft-hearted enough to try to help you by cooking food and bringing it over here and all that other crap, but he hasn't given money to even do that. Come on, let's be honest. But today, or last night, he said, well, I'm praying that God would heal. If He healed me, then I can do. No, you won't. You'll sit in that chair and keep doing nothing. You did nothing. He told us he was been retired for 13 years. For 13 years, for 365 days of the year, he gets up, goes to get breakfast at the place, comes back and sits in that chair and sleeps all day. Goes get something, eats, gets back in the chair, sleeps all day. For 13 years, that's what he's done. And so I challenge you guys, as you live this life, and even once you get to retirement, have a purpose and a plan. Sitting in a chair waiting to get to the casket call is just not a good plan. And if you're Christian, we should be living with purpose. We should be doing something, ministering on some basis. Even if you don't have a licensed minister, you should be blessing somebody else, helping somebody else, doing something, giving back, being better than what you were yesterday. Don't sit in a chair and die your way to a casket. It is probably, I don't even know what his Jesus meeting going to be, because I'm scared for him. You know, oh, okay, you got here and you were supposed to do this, this, and this, and all you did was sleep in that chair until you died. And, you know, he's caught up in it, like when he was in the hospital. You know, I ain't never been sick before. I said, it's all about you, isn't it? The man next door to you is on a breathing machine, but you can walk. This other guy over here, while I was there was a dude I was sitting in the doorway. The guy came because he needed to go on dialysis, and he got a mind like my father. He like, well, can you come back? I got to eat. I'm trying to eat my breakfast. Dialysis is more important than your breakfast, bruh. Really? And the black guy looked at me, and I looked at him. I'm like, whoa. The guy who was coming to get... He said, I'll be back. Then he said, sir, we can just take the breakfast with you, but you got to go to dialysis. I don't know where that comes from, where this pity party, and I'm going to only do, you know, and then he does a lot of justification. Well, you know, if I felt more comfortable about my driving, I would go to Oklahoma and see family. You just need to go get new glasses and put some tires on the back. But, you know, I'm not comfortable driving because then, you know, I might kill somebody. That said, you do a lot of justification and making up stuff to justify your stuff. Let me help you. If you're going to justify, why have you been driving a car with bad tires for 5 years? The tires on the back of this car, when we're driving, I slow down because you can feel the back shaking because those tires need to be replaced. If you're so concerned about the motoring public, that's two of the priorities right off the top. That's the first two things you could have done. Now, you can go out and pay somebody that makes a sweet pig chicken salad. You can go out and buy a bunch of sugar stuff. You can spend a whole bunch of money doing craziness. And I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but you do what you just feel you need to do because you want to do it. Not what's priority first. I'm just saying. Stop justifying. We all do it. But you justifying some really crazy stuff. So, people, just think differently. I'm still here in Lubbock. I'll be honest, I put in for the beef company. I did not get the beef company, and their response was, when I fractured my ankle, I was due for my DOT physical. I did not get it until after I came out the fracture, so I was down for 3 months. And so during that 3 months, my DOT physical came up. If you don't get your DOT physical in time, they suspend your license. The reason they said they could not accept me, I had to wait 1 full year, is because I had a suspension within the last 12 months. And they don't like seeing any suspensions. So if I go 1 year with no suspension, then I can reapply. I'm not worried about that because to me, that is so minute of a reason. And I'm like, well, you guys must have enough drivers, so it must not be an issue for you, because every other company, that's not an issue, or most of the ones I'm talking to. So I'm looking at another company out of Oklahoma, UPS Truckload. In worst case scenario, I go back to my other company for a little bit, position myself back in Phoenix. Actually, and I'll put it on my Facebook page, I'm not mentioning the company, but my company just did a major live talk with the COO, CFO, and a marketing chick. And they have done a massive increase on pay for owner ops, as well as company drivers. They apparently have a crap load of dedicated lanes they're trying to get out. And what they did say in that video is that they're trying to make it more attractive to bring in new drivers to the industry without them taking a financial hit. So the previous guy who headed the company, he was about his own money. He really didn't care about the drivers, in my humble opinion. So, you know, my only issue is still that idle policy thing. But if I have to go back there, I can go maybe for about 3 to 6 months and then look for the owner op thing, because I could use their insurance still to do the lap band. Because my most critical thing is the lap band and Chapter 7. Those two are big for me. So I may be back in Phoenix, not this week coming up, but the week after, if I don't get the gig in Oklahoma or I don't get something through UPS. UPS may take a little longer, I'm thinking, because I'm in talks with the UPS. I've already called them, talked to them, waiting on the recruiter to get back with me to find out. And then my referral person, Jose, thank you, sent me something, because I guess they do have a job out here in Texas for truckload. So actually UPS was my second company of choice. The one in Oklahoma is in my third set choice. And then I was looking at some other companies, but I'm very big on not just jumping out and then making good choices, because there are some companies that'll hit you up, but between my headhunter and other people, I'm getting a list of what's good and what's bad, and whenever I make that move, I want to make that move as a good move. So if I got to put up with BS, I'd rather put up with BS where I'm at than to go somewhere else and be in the midst of BS or worse BS. So this is giving me my 30 days on CPAP solid, because I'm also going to have to do a DOT physical here coming up in May, which I'll probably do it. I might do it in April. So that's just a little bit of what's going on, guys, because I'm real honest about it. Be praying for me that whatever the best company is, the UPS or the one in Oklahoma, that opens up, and then I move on, because I want to be I really need to be back on the road after the 26th, because I got stuff coming in. That's about it. But we have spent the weekend in and out of either urgent care or the emergency room. We went to urgent care yesterday. We went in Monday. They told him he was supposed to go back to the doctor within 2 to 3 days from the time he went. He did not call the doctor. He sat there, and I know he's pissed off about being on the catheter. So my father doesn't show emotions, but I just know, I can tell how he acts, what he's thinking. And when he does this, and he went and tried to, so the other day, and he's still eating the sugar, he's still drinking the sweet tea, and now he got a really bad yeast infection on top of the UTI, because UTI was horrible. There was blood, and the amount of blood coming out after they put that catheter in was just insane, because he had a UTI infection. And the UTI is probably a twofold issue. The amount of sugar he's bringing in is causing the UTI, and the amount of sugar, and the fact that he was not having a catheter in there, so his body's also holding urine. It's not emptying urine as it should. Plus the amount of sugar he's bringing in, his kidneys are working overtime trying to get the sugar out of his body. So he's doing everything he wants. He's a grown little boy, and that's who he's been all his life. He's always just gotten his way, because he's done what he wants to do, and now he's in a pity party because he can't get his way. He's a kid throwing a tantrum in his own way, and he's not screaming at the rooftop, jumping around, but his is, I ain't gonna do. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna eat my food. I'm gonna do what I want to do. He's one of those kind of children. So he's rebellious. And we've had to have a come to Jesus meeting, but there's a point where I won't waste my breath anymore. You know, like today, don't sit here and tell me pity party stuff, because I told him I don't feel sorry for you. I said, I can't. You bring in a better pension than most people. You can walk. You can talk. There's people 69 years old drooling. People 69 years old sitting in hospice. People 69 years old with terminal cancer. People 69 years old on dialysis, although you're working towards getting there. Anything you're doing at this point is a choice. If I continue with this weight on my body, don't be shocked if I die before I hit 50, 55. Don't be shocked about heart disease. Even once I get the weight off, I've done some damage probably to my body based on this weight. I can't have a pity party because I have to take ownership for my shiznit. You need to take ownership for your stuff. Prostate cancer, unavoidable. But you're still smoking a cigarette. So cancer ain't a big deal to you. The other thing, you're drinking sugar. And I told you have a UTI. We went into the doctor on Saturday. We went to urgent care because all of a sudden he couldn't go. It was clogged again. It's clogged because you're still drinking sugar. He went through every bottle of shit, whatever he had in the house. You got to change this. And you got to be willing to change this. And if you're not, so we found out yesterday he had a major, on top of the UTI, he's got a major yeast infection. Why? Because you're drinking tons of sugar. Sugar, you already got a bacterial infection. On top of that, now you're bringing in a yeast infection because now your sugar is helping make yeast because it's nice and warm and toasty. And you just adding to the sugar. Here's some more sugar for the yeast. Grow more. And he wants a genie fix. It's not going to happen. You got to get your mind wrapped around it, and then maybe God will work in conjunction with you once you decide, I'm going to do this. And then he's making every excuse under the world to sit in that chair. I said, you just really need to be quiet. Just sit there. Stop. Either come out your pity party or sit there and don't say nothing. Enjoy your pity party by yourself. So today we went, and he did last night. He going to tape the bag up, or this morning, tape the bag up and then it stopped flowing, and on top of that, he did something to it funky. And so I went in there. The nurse I had, she was cool. Her father just died, I think she said last year. He's 90 something, I think is what she said. And I was telling her what I was dealing with, and she's like, and I said, so she says, well, all you can do is the best you can. She said, can he get an in-home? She's actually said, can you get an in-home health worker to come in there and watch him? I said, he's not going to be where he's going to want that right now. And right now, he's still too cognizant for any of us to step in. He's going to have to be probably one of the ones that walk outside butt naked or do something weird or hit something before we can actually step in and say, let's put him in a nursing home to where somebody can control his diet. And he's going to be pissed off about it, but that's about the only way you're going to be able to get him to stop. He's not going to be able to drive. And that's the only way. So until he gets to that point, he's just either going to get himself to the casket or get to that point. Whichever, the chicken or the egg, that's what's going to happen. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be praying from a prayer group. Pray for him to hopefully get his mind right and grow up and deal with his crap, or, whatever. And be praying for me that one of the 2 best ones come out. Or maybe I'm supposed to go back there to this company I was with. Anyway, 2 and 2, I'll give y'all more updates later. Peace. Oh, and for my trucker group, that's why I tell y'all to apply for more than one thing. Because companies have their own little rules and regulations as to what they accept and what they don't. So if one falls through, you always have other backups. So I have other options. 2 and 2.